I need a blooper reel. I need a blooper reel. Hi guys, Dawn with Two Hip Chicks. I wanted to do a video about audio cassettes. You know, stuff you find at garage sales, estate sales, on the cheap usually. And depending on the artist and the band, they can be worth some money. And even if they're not worth a lot of money individually, you lot them up and you can make some good money on them. Or if you just want to listen to them, that's cool too. So like this one, Prince Purple Rain, probably worth some money. It is a good album. So when you get cassettes, what you want to do is look at the condition. You want to look at the condition of the case, of the tape, and how it was stored. So this one, the case is in pretty good shape. These cases do break over time, and usually they break right around this area where the back goes, or the colored plastic, or even clear sometimes, goes into the hinge. The hinges will break. The little knobs on them will break. So you can replace these. If you find some that aren't worth anything, but they have a good case, you can usually swap out the insert like that and just put it in a new case. So there's one thing. So you want to look at that. Then you want to look at the tape itself. First thing I look for is how clean it is, if it's been stored well. The other thing I look at is if the spool, and you can see here, the spool, the tape is all on one spool. It's not in the middle. It's not halfway through. I look at that because usually they have a leader tape in them, and you see here it's blue. So you want to make sure that it's been stored all on one spool. If it's halfway through, what can happen is, because the tape is then exposed, even in storage, even in the case, you could get dropout. So you could have the tape play fine through most of it, but you get to that point where it was left out in the middle here, and you'll get a dropout. It'll muffle and go down in volume and quality of sound, and then it'll pick back up once it gets past that point. And people don't want to buy a tape with, where it drops out. So you want to look for that. If you find a tape that's worth money that has been stored with the tape halfway rewound, listen to it and make sure there's no quality issue with the sound. And then the last thing you're looking for, and this is the most obvious and the most prevalent, is that right inside here, there's a little bar. It's a metal bar, and in there is supposed to be a felt pad. Well, the felt pad fell out. So here, I got it here. It usually either becomes loose, and you'll see it floating around in there, or it might even still be attached, but it will, if you manipulate the tape in any way, it'll pop off and float around in there. And then you'll find it in the case. If you're lucky, it's still there. Sometimes it doesn't. You'll have to harvest one from another tape that's not, that's not worth as much. So you can replace these. You just need a little crazy glue and a little patience, and this tape will be as good as gold. So let's try that. Go ahead and grab the tweezers. I get those at the dollar store. They're really, they work fine. You can get them in a set. Pull the leader tape back, and hold it or tape it back, and then go ahead and get some crazy glue. It's just, again, cheap crazy glue works fine. This is actually a relatively cheap fix, and it holds. So take the glue and put it on the metal piece that the felt goes on. It doesn't take a lot. Don't overdo it. Just a few small touches of glue will do fine. Pick up the pad. Make sure the right side is facing out, and the glue side is facing down. Push it in position. Maybe use your finger, and then just set it aside. Leave the tape leaders out and lay it down so it just dries. And give it time to dry. Then you're good. If you come across one that you don't have the felt pad for, your options are pretty simple. What I do is I find a cassette that I really don't care about, like Christmas CD or Christmas cassette or something, and I go ahead and I harvest the pad out of that. So I go ahead and I just Make sure they're about the same size. This one's a little bigger here that I'm using, but I go ahead and pull it out. And if you can't get the pad to come off really easy, you can just pull out the whole metal clip that it's attached to, and then you can pull it off of that. So you may have to pull a little bit and yank on it, but it'll come out relatively easy. And then once you've got it out of there, you can toss the tape. You know, it was a cheap tape anyway. Use cheap blank tapes too, they work fine. And then go ahead and pull the tape, or pull the felt off of the metal piece, and just like I'm doing here. And once you get that off, some are more stubborn than others, but once you get that off, then you can go ahead and glue it in position on the tape that you're trying to save. So again, same thing, pull the leader tape back, put the glue on, not a lot. Go ahead and then make sure you got the correct side facing the inside of the tape. So you want the the part that was glued on previously to go on the metal, and then that the facing up part of the felt pad should be the soft felt, because that's going to touch the tape when the head's in contact with it. Push it into position, get it lined up properly, set it aside, leave the leader tape out, and let it dry. I had a few that I did previously, and I went ahead and had those all set, ready to go. So what I do then is I check them to make sure that I did a good job. So basically, take the tweezers and jiggle it on there, just enough to kind of imitate what the pressure of the tape going across it would be like. And if it's great, suck that leader tape back in, roll it back in with your finger, and you're good to go. You can, like I said, list them, play them, enjoy them. Hello. Hello, how are you? Hi, Dawn with Two Hip Chicks. I need a blooper reel. Okay, so this would be a good one, right? Prince Purple Rain. Pull it out, look at it. Take 2. This is going to be take 50. So like this one, Prince Purple Rain. I buy tapes. I gotta quit looking at myself. I gotta quit. Hold on. There we go. Hello. Alright. Continue. Clapboard. And that leader tape helps not only protect the tape itself, gives it something to start out with, but it also keeps all the... Take 3. I wanted to do this video because I know that there are some new Take 2, cheap, and some bands and some Take 2. How good's the case? What's the tape look like inside? You want to make sure. How's the case? You want to make